Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello, welcome everybody to the MVP Cup, January 2020. I am your caster Snoopy, casting for you the B stream. We do have the main stream over at the Alpha X SC2 channel, the main channel. So if you want to check out some games there as well, you can hop on over there, open up the browser and have that open. But in the meantime, I am going to be casting the B stream, the second stream for you, and as soon as we find the game we will get started. But before that, let's go ahead and get a kind of a look at the Shalom page, the bracket. If you guys want to see the bracket yourself, you can type in exclamation bracket into the Twitch chat anytime you want. That shall initiate the bot to pull up the bracket link. As well as there's a Matcherino page, so exclamation Matcherino shall bring up the Matcherino link as well as the coupon code. Let me go ahead and type it into the chat for you guys. So here is the bracket. Hopefully the bot is up and running. Looks like it's not quite up yet. Let me go ahead and actually check it. But anyhow, as you can see, this is the current bracket. We have a bunch of players in the tournament, and it goes down all the way down to Xenodactyl at the bottom. Of course, there is a 2-round, so there's a losers bracket as well as a winners bracket. And so if anyone loses, they still have a second chance to crawl the way back into the tournament. They just have to go through the entire losers bracket, which is a tall feat, but still doable. All right, let me go ahead and just check the Nightbot here. Just to make sure that the bot is behaving. Alright, I'm looking for some games to cast as well. But in the meantime, let me know, guys, how you are all doing on this lovely Saturday. I know Super Bowl Sunday is tomorrow, so I'm sure some of you are hyped up for that. There's no actual team that I'm rooting for in the Super Bowl, so I probably won't be watching it. Alright, there we go. The Nightbot has woken up. Alrighty there. So let's see if anyone wants to be casted. So of course, if you guys don't know or are not familiar with the MVP Cup, the entire winners bracket is best of 3, except the grand finals, which is a best of 5. And the losers bracket is all of it is a best of 1, except the losers finals, which is a best of 3. So now, of course, I'm not going to be casting the entire tournament. I am only filling in for like the first hour or so until Xeno. If Xeno gets eliminated, he will take over this channel. But in the meantime, I'll be casting the games here on the second channel for ya. Alrighty. Again, let's go ahead and check the bracket while we're waiting for someone to invite me for the game. So we do have Arrow Fire versus No One Not. Rodston. Oh, actually, we do have a game. Looks like looks like No One Not is Snowflower. All right, so we're gonna get started into our first game, which will be on Triton LE. Again, this is a best of 3. And yeah, we shall get started. Alrighty, here spawning at the top left corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player from Alpha Black. It is Snowflower. And spawning at the bottom right, we have our red Protoss player from Alpha International. It is Arrow Fire. Alright, so on paper, I would say, of course, Arrow Fire. I'm going Arrow Fire, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's going to have the advantage, quite the massive advantage, as he is a GM player. While Snowflower is, I believe he's Diamond. He participates in the Alpha Team League for our Buffalo team, so he's been playing there. Actually played in a lot of, I think, MVD Cup, a lot of Alpha X events in the past, as well as team leagues. So he's been a really active participant. No stranger to the tournament scene, as well as Arrow Fire. He hasn't been with us quite as long, but in the recent time that he has been with us, he's been pretty active himself. Has also participated in our Alpha X Apprentice tournament and has been doing quite well over there. And I believe he went into the finals, or he made it to the finals of one of the seasons. So he's a pretty good player. He also plays other races as well. Like, he plays other races decently. So you will sometimes see him play other races, maybe on stream or in tournaments or team leagues. But of course, he does want to win this tournament, so he's going to play his main race of Protoss. And here we go. Looks like the first Reaper for Snowflower will be making its way across the map to the Natural. We'll see the Expo just finished. The Adept does come out right in time. Excuse me, right in time. However, there is no block off in this ramp area, so Arrow Fire, or Snowflower at least, will have the opportunity to go in. But he doesn't know this. He's of course in the dark. He does now sees it. And will he make his way and see the Twilight Council? I think he will. Oh, actually, let me go ahead and just double check on that. He does. Oh, okay. He just got the glimpse of it, just barely. So at the very least, he should be not worrying about any Stargate play. After scouting that Twilight Council, he should expect Blink is probably the most common opening, but there is some players that do go for DTs. They will make a DT shrine behind that Twilight Council. Some may even go for a kind of a Glaive Adepts all-in timing. And then some people, of course, even going for a Charge Lot all-in timing as well. But this is going to be Blink from Arrow Fire. He's not going to go too crazy. I think because he knows that he's in a he has a quite a advantage over his opponent in terms of skill wise, that he wants to play a macro game. He wants to make sure that he doesn't just want to throw away a game just because he kind of botched an all-in timing. So best play for him to go for is just go for the macro game. Make sure that his macro mechanics, his micro mechanics, kind of carry him to the victory. In the meantime, Snowflower does do a pretty good job actually with the adept scouting. So the adepts, they can serve as a harassing unit, but they can also just serve as a scouting tool, so that you can basically make sure how many units your opponent has. If the opponent units are there, maybe it's load up in the medevac, flying across the map, which is exactly what Snowflower has, as he has 2 Widow Mines in the medevacs. Now Arrowfire, he's got this locked down. I mean, he's got the 3 Stalker ready to pounce on this medevac. So this medevac will retreat, and he might have to go over to the dirt or the natural base. In the meantime, the Adept did get in, but does not get too much done. He did get a good scout. Has the starport, the tech lab on the starport, which is a good scout. That should signal him to start making some anti-Banshee setup, getting some observer, maybe getting a shield battery, or prepare for that Raven. Of course, you don't really know if it's a Raven or a Banshee. I mean, if it researches on the tech lab, then you can assume that it's a Banshee, but it was not jiggling, so it could be either Banshee or a Raven. He does at least scouts the Raven with his Blink Stalkers. Some nice harass done. Does get the bunker, but not too much damage done, as there are a bunch of Marines. Oh, that medevac almost got sniped down by those Stalkers. Luckily for Snowflower, I think Arrowfire was on move command. And will he jump up? That will be pretty risky, as there is a quite amount of Marines and a tank there as well. Nice job there by Arrowfire to snipe down those 2 Widow Mines. That should help during the fight. Now, it's important to note that there is no dirt command center yet. It is pretty late. Okay, there he does finally throw down a dirt command center. And I believe Snowflower is looking to go for an attack soon. Now, he does only have 2 tank out into the map, so he's gonna want to make sure he doesn't lose those tanks to these Stalkers. And oh, nice! That's a big pick off on that Raven. That Raven serves a huge purpose during the engagement. It could, of course, throw down those anti-armor missiles, which really help us in the fight, or maybe even some auto turrets. But looks like Arrowfire, he's massing enough army to push this back, and that is quite the bad news, because Snowflower, oh man, if he blinks and snipes out that medevac, that's gonna hurt quite a bit. Oh, there we go. Nice blink there. And as I said, it is quite the setback for you to prepare for an attack, and it just gets pushed back. I mean, your dirt is late. You don't have enough units to put on pressure on your opponent anytime soon, because he pushed you back. He has more than enough units. So unfortunate for Snowflower, he does lose game 1. But fortunately for him, he does get to choose the next map, as it is loser's pick. And we shall see what map he chooses. And it looks like it's going to be Simulacrum. Alright, let's see if Snowflower has something up his sleeve to push this to a 1-1 game. Alright, here. Spawning at the bottom right corner of the map. He is our red Protoss with a 1-0 lead. Can he close out the series? It is Arrowfire. And spawning at the top left corner of the map, we have our blue Terran player. Down 0-1, looking to tie up the series and push it to the third map. It is Snowflower. Alrighty, looks like it's going to be a standard opening by Snowflower, no proxies or anything. I think it might have even suited him to maybe try out a proxy, just because he is starting off with such a disadvantage, but I think he's going to be content with just trying to macro and play it out. And there are two kind of two mindsets, you know, when you're going up a opponent that has such a huge MMR advantage over you. You either try to cheese and hope for your opponent to not be prepared and catch him off guard or her off guard, get the win that way. Basically it's kind of like a YOLO play, but you could also try and play it out, even though the chances, the percentage of winning goes down as the games goes on and on. At the very least, in the long term, you kind of hone your skills, you know, you improve your skills, because in the long drawn out macro game, it kind of requires you to play every facet of the game. More scenarios pops up for you to encounter and see how you want to engage in that, how you want to tackle that. And so in the long term, it does improve your skills if you play more macro games. So it's a two different mindset that, you know, I just sometimes wonder how the player with the huge MMR deficiency does decide to go for it. But it looks like a Snowflower, he's gonna, oh, nice little dance around, but unfortunately for Snowflower, Arrowfire does catch that Reaper, so no more scouts. He does at least see the Twilight cancel. So same opening by Arrowfire. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it did work out in the first game pretty well, so. And I think usually when Protoss open for that Twilight cancel and the blink, they usually go for that kind of mass gateway style, as some terms it as swarm toss, because it kind of lends to you to get a lot of units out, but there's a lot of tier 1 units, a lot of gateway 1 units. So it's basically you're relying on quantity over quality for the first half of the game, until you can macro up enough to start getting your upgrades, start getting some splash damage units. Ooh, nice little little trick there to actually save that depth. Now, it's not the biggest thing to save the adept, but I mean, if you got the energy to recall, I mean, why not, right? Doesn't hurt. Doesn't look like you will need that recall anytime soon, so he can let the cooldown run. I mean, in the early game, there's really not a lot of scenarios where you need to recall. I mean, maybe a scenario where your observer is across the map and your banshee's in your mineral line, but I mean, there's not going to be a banshee that's coming out anytime soon. I mean, he's already scouted the kind of the building structure and the layout of Snowflower. And oh, nice pick up there by Snowflower. So no more scouting there. The only scouting he's going to have is this observer, and if he decides to send out his blink stalkers to kind of get some harass done while scouting, and while scouting the move out of the Terran player. But it seems like it's going to be a different build here coming out of Snowflower. Now, the last game, he did go for a 2 Widowmine drop. This time around, he's going for, excuse me, this time he's going around for a 2 Medevac Bow drop. Got some bows in there. Got the Marauders. Got the Marines. Now, this is going to be a pretty awkward situation as arrow fire. These guys, blink stalkers across the map. There's majority of his units are in the medevac. Now we'll see if Arrowfire decides to recall or he decides to go for the natural of Snowflower. Now I don't think. Yeah, it looks like recall has not cooled down yet. So apparently that recall on their dev has proven to be a mistake for this particular game. Unfortunate for Arrowfire, but he is going to try to get some damage done. But looks like Snowflower. He's got the snipe on the dirt base, but it's more important to snipe off the SCVs for Arrowfire because remember he's still on 2 bases. Snowflower has not yet gotten his dirt base, and nice snipe on one of the medevacs gets a bunch of Bow units that were still in those medevacs, and he's making these stalker very, very cost efficient. Now he's gonna have to recall. Finally, his recall does finish this cycle, and he needed to recall because those Bow units does have stim, so he does not want to lose all his units, although he is working off of quite the large amount of gateways, 8 gateways in fact, so he has plenty of weapons to defend. But here we go. It looks like both players are taking their dirt, but I will have to give the advantage to Arrowfire. I mean, the worker count is 48 to 29. He got so much damage done with those Blink Stalkers, getting even more damage done, taking up that tech lab of that factory. So that factory will be delayed in terms of producing tanks. He's gonna have to make a tech lab, which is gonna take some time, and then he's gonna have to wait for the tank to finish. And that means that Snowflower, his push, if he decides to push, will be working off of 1 tank, which is not scary at all. So at the very least, it looks like Arrowfire will buy himself some time, but nope, it looks like he wants to go for the aggression. He's wanting to go for the attack, and he's gonna get kind of a little flank maneuver here with the Charthot coming to on the right side, Blink Stalkers on the left. And this is a lot of charge line. I don't think Snowflower has enough, and Arrowfire will easily take this series 2-1 and move on to the next round. All right, GG's. All right, so Arrowfire will advance to the next round. But Snowflower, he is not down and out yet. He does move on to the losers bracket, where he will have a second chance to pull through. Let's see if there's any other games out there. All right, let's take a look at the bracket in the meantime. All right, looks like we have some series already done so far. We have Firefox advancing 2-0, Mage advancing 2-0, Uzukoti advancing 2-0, and Tokon as well, Wooded Micro as well. So a lot of 2-0s. So of course this is a seeded bracket, so usually you will see a lot of 2-0s in the first round, and then as the round goes on and on, they face more equally closer MMR players. So, but yeah, it looks like the tournament is running smoothly, and let's see if there's any open games here for us to cast. All right, if there is any open games for me to cast, just Oh, please invite me. All right. So remember, guys, there is a Matcherino link for this for you to contribute to the prize pool. You can contribute 50 cents for free by just entering the coupon code into the Matcherino. Now, if you don't know what the Matcherino link is, just type in exclamation Matcherino into the Twitch chat. That shall trigger the Nightbot to pull up the link as well as the code. And if you want to take a look at the bracket yourself, you can type in exclamation bracket, and that will bring up the Challonge bracket page for you to check out and keep updated with the scores and the results. And if you guys don't know, there is also a main stream at the Alpha X SE2 channel, our main stream. I believe Kozen is casting on that channel, so check it out as well if you want to check out the other games. All right, looks like Arrowfire is looking for Masa. Oh wait, is he facing Masa next? Oh, he is. Oh wow. All right, so we have a pretty dope match coming up. Let's see if Masa's here. Maybe we can cast that next. Unless somebody else wants to get casted. All right, so let's get actually some predictions going here, because this is a lot of matchups. So we have Masa versus Arrowfire. I feel like Masa might have will come out the series. Oh, looks like Masa has responded. All right, Firefox will be playing against. I'm gonna predict Rosden. So that should be a pretty good matchup as well. And we have Vindicta versus Mage. That's just gonna be a tough one to predict. I'm just gonna go with Vindicta. I think he has a more tournament experience. Paco Mike versus Exo Striker. I think that's gonna be the next matchup. Art versus Eggs. Eggs, of course. Just like as I say that, he did move just right now. Moved up to the next round. And so yeah, he's again from our Alpha X Latin team. Next we have Uzikoti versus, I'm gonna say Mamba here. Cuddle Bear already playing against Tokan. I think he's Cuddle Bear might come out of it. By the way, he was streaming the other day, I think yesterday, and I think he either got raided or something, because he had like a over 1,000 viewers. So that was pretty great and pretty awesome to see. Cuddle Bear getting some love. And here we have Asuna versus Wooden Microbe. I'm gonna say Asuna. I saw him play against Pig a while ago and put up a nice game. I haven't seen Wooden Microbe play too much, but I mean, from the games I've seen, he's also a strong player. So that's going to be more of a kind of a 50-50 game, I feel like, maybe. Although I would give the advantage maybe to Asuna. But yeah, we shall see how the games goes. We will be following this along while the tournament is running. But of course, again, I won't be streaming the entire tournament, as I'm just streaming like the first hours or so until Xenodactyl is free to take over. Let's see if Xeno has. Oh no, I guess like he has his games hidden, his match history hidden. And yeah, still looking for some games here. I think a lot of players are still either in their series or probably just doing the map videos and all that. All right. Looks like oh, it looks like Fire and Masa. Oh no, he's in the party with Enki and Roston. Huh. I wonder why he's playing against Rosden. He's supposed to be playing against Masa. Huh, who knows? Hey Devin. In the chat, welcome. Just sent you a message in Discord. Yeah, just checked it. So looks like Devin just missed the cut for the MVP Cup. Of course, you got to sign up for the tournament, but also check in 30 minutes before, which some players or some people who haven't really done this too much in the past, maybe it's kind of new to them. Oh, it looks like Xenodactyl also messaged in the Discord and to let Devin know. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next MVP Cup, which will be next month on February. We have this tournament every month for you guys. And for the diamonds and below, we also have the MVD Cup, which was supposed to be tomorrow, but was pushed to next weekend because of Super Bowl Sunday. It was gonna overlap, so keeping in mind of that, we did push the January MVD Cup next week. So if you do want to play in that, if you're diamond or below, you can sign up for that and play for some money. As there is there will be a Matcherino page for that as well. All right. There are any apes. All right, just letting the chat know that I am still free to cast. Hopefully someone will invite me. Sometimes you gotta message multiple times because I think some players likes to be casted, but most players I don't feel like they wants to be casted, especially in a tournament setting, because they might either lose or they just don't like to be casted in general, like ever. Alright, let's see what's going on with the bracket here. Alright, looks like a bunch of games has concluded, and yeah, looks like the majority of my prediction has come true. It looks like all of it actually has come true. Let's see here. Okay, who I think will win the tournament? By the way, if you guys have a prediction to who will win the whole entire tournament, please write your prediction in the Twitch chat. I would like to see who you got coming out of this this tourney. I feel like Art will be at least in the grand finals. He usually makes it far in these MVP cups. He's just a really great player. Although there are a lot of competition here. I think Masa might also has a. I mean, he hasn't participated in a lot of MVP cups because he just recently joined us in the past few months or so. But I feel like Masa also is one has been consistently making it far in these MVP cups. So I would say Masa will probably maybe meet Art in the finals, the grand finals, probably. That would be one hell of a series there. All right. Sorry for the downtime, guys. We're just waiting for someone to invite me here. Okay, looks like you know what? While we're down here, let's go for a shout out to one of our sponsors. 24 Hour Fitness is one of our sponsors who supports Alpha X. I mean, we wouldn't have events like these without their support. And they have over 436 locations nationwide. So you can find a 24-hour fitness gym rather easily. And they provide awesome services such as personal routines for you, customized routines for you to reach your goal, achieve your goal that you want, as well as plenty of kind of classes that you can take, whether you want to take one for your core, whether you want to take for your muscle, you want to take one for cardio. I mean, they have a bunch of services. So check them out at 24hourfitness.com. They are a really amazing gym. So yeah, check them out. All right, so let's see what's going on. All right, let's go ahead on over to EU here as Mamba has a game and there. Hopefully we'll get invited. All right, looks like we do have Mamba versus, let's see here, Mamba versus Uzi Koti. All right, we got both players here. Sweet. So we should have a game started pretty soon. Oops. I wrote in the wrong chat. There we go. All right, looks like we have a bit more people coming in. By the way, if you guys haven't done so yet, please head on over to our Matcherino page, enter the coupon code to donate 50 cents for free to the overall prize pool. You can bring up the link as well as the code by typing into the Twitch chat !Matcherino, and that will trigger the Nightbot to pull up the link as well as the coupon code. And if you want to check out the bracket yourself, the Chalone page, keep updated with the results. You can type in !Bracket, and that will trigger the Nightbot to bring up the link for you to check out. All right, we have finally got a game. Simulacrum will be our first map of the series. And here we go. We have at the top left corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. He is Uzi Koti. And spawning here at the bottom right, we have our green Zergy player. He is Mamba. Now, I know that Uzikoti, he is from EU. I believe Mamba might be... I'm going to say he might be from NA, but he might be from EU as well. I might have to check out his Wikipedia page later. I forgot which, where in the region of the world he is from, but... We do have some region server rules in this tournament to make sure that it is fair and that it's equal. But in the meantime, we have a TVZ in our hands, and looks like Mamba will be spreading his overlords quite nicely. Check out if there are some proxies, as we do see a lot of Terrans pulling out some proxy plays such as double racks. Into like maybe a bunker into the natural, or maybe even more racks, like a massive marine push or something. But I think the majority of the proxies are double racks. All right, we do have a command center going down in the natural, and this will be scouted by Mamba, but he is going to scout as well as the reactor on that barracks. Now, he did skip the Reaper to get out this faster reactor, so this shall point Mamba to kind of infer that he is probably going to go for a factory opening into Hellions. The idea is to get the reactor and make some initial marines to defend in case there is a kind of a early Ling push, and then get Hellions. But oh no, looks like Mamba is going for the fast Roach War and the fast Ravager Roach push, and because he skipped the Reaper, he's got absolutely no idea that this is coming. And oh my god, he is switching over the reactor. He's gonna make, oh my god, he even just misplaced that factory, so his units are even gonna arrive later than usual. And Hellions tickle roaches, guys. This is not good at all for Uzikoti, and he is gonna finally see the roaches, and he is probably gonna facepalm, because I mean he's gonna have to pull some SCVs, I feel like, because okay, looks like he only made 4 roaches, funny enough. So this actually might not be quite as bad. And oh, we have some really strange builds coming, or crazy builds coming from both players. Mamba going for the fast roaches, but look at Uzikoti, he's got the fast ghost. Let's actually zoom into that bad boy here. That ghost is gathering up those energy, and they are gonna push back the roaches. And this is quite unfortunate for Mamba, because I feel like if he actually continued making those roaches, if he actually went all in for this push, this might have actually done quite the amount of damage, instead of Uzikoti now, which has the upper hand and pushing these roaches back. So I mean, my logic is, or what I would like to rationalize, is that if you're not going to get scouted by the Reaper, I mean, might as well go for the roaches, right? Because it's going to really catch your opponent off guard. But if you do get scouted by the Reaper, maybe not go all in like Mamba goes for. Maybe go for 4 or 5 roaches. Try to scare your opponent to reacting to the with the defense of the Terran player to these roaches. But yeah, looks like Mamba, he's got pushed back. He at least did scout the roach, or the ghost tech. So he might actually want to start making a bit more overseers here, because it might get sniped down. But there are no, I don't believe he got, yeah, he doesn't have the upgrade, so he doesn't have cloak upgrade yet. But oh my god, look at those snipes. And this is getting a bit scary. I mean, once those ghosts start sniping those queens, which there are absolutely no queens left after those snipes, it can get a bit scary. It can snowball. So, but luckily for Mamba, he did get the early scout on these ghosts, and has allowed him to make enough roaches to push this back. In the meantime, Uzikoti getting the third base, macroing up behind this. And looks like Mamba's also going for some roach speed here. He has stopped all drone production in fear of these ghosts and these Hellions. But yeah, I think he might actually want to go for a push here as roach speed is about to finish, because he has kind of halted his economic production for this. So he definitely wants to make some damage to make use of it. But in the meantime, we do have Uzikoti. He's going to go for a medevac drop with 4 ghosts. At the same time, these roaches are making their way across the map. And Uzikoti, he can afford to actually lose some workers. I mean, he's up 52 to 37. That's quite a lot. And you add in those mules, that is a lot of economy. As you can see in this income graph, Uzikoti is way ahead. Now the question is, can he hold this? His worker lead is quite ahead, but his army count is a lot below of Mamba, as he has quite the roach army here. I believe the medevac with those 4 ghosts has retreated, but there is a tank out in the back doing a lot of damage, shelling out a lot of splash damage on those roaches, forcing Mamba to go out. But because of those SCV pools, Mamba has all of a sudden kind of evened out the worker counts. However, you don't, as a Zerg, want to even up the worker count. You want to actually do enough worker damage to be decently ahead, because again, those mules, they provide a lot of economic advantage for the Terran player, as well as he does have his third base, which means more energy for those mules, while Mamba's still stuck at 3 bases. He has yet to take his 4th base. But it looks like Mamba, he's still keeping up the aggression here. He's still making a lot of units on the production tab, hoping to catch Uzikoti off guard. As you see, he does have a few units here at the top, while trying to harass at the bottom. But look at those ghosts, all those snipes kill each and every of those Ravagers. And Uzikoti looking to stabilize quite easily. And Mamba, he's at this point, I'm not sure what he's thinking, but he is quite behind. The worker count has kind of slowly been in favor of Uzikoti once again. Mamba, he's still making units, but I mean, the army is quite even. And remember, these are roaches. Some of these are roaches with the lings. And roaches, of course, are supply inefficient. So you definitely want to be way ahead in terms of army supply if you're making roaches in your composition. But oh man, look at these ghosts catch these roaches and Ravagers and try to snipe, but the size, he might want to actually retreat, because he's going to lose some of these ghosts. And here we go, Mamba going for probably one last push, but there are 3 tanks as well as a sensor tower, so he can position his tanks in the right position. Nice little Liberator harass, counter harass here at the 3rd. But Mamba has to make do with this army, because if he doesn't, then it's going to be pretty much GG. And oh man, the tanks are just basically obliterating all these lings, and the ghosts are just sniping all these roaches and Ravagers. And Mamba just doesn't have any buffer for these roaches and Ravagers. No more lings. There are some coming across the map, but by the time they arrive, all the Ravagers has been gone. So no more corrosive bows on those tanks. And the tank count keeps increasing, which makes this attack just get more difficult and more difficult as time passes by. And at this point, Mamba is grasping at straws. I mean, doesn't have a lot of army to work with, and all of a sudden, Uzikote has the army lead. He has the better quality army as well, and GG has to tap out. Uzikote with a nice hold there, defending the early Roach push as well as the big Ling Roach Ravager push. Follow up, and he will go up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. Dust in the chat saying, wow, that turned out better than I expected for Uzi. And I have to definitely agree, because again, once we saw that he went for, Mamba went for the Roach push in the beginning, I'm like, ooh, this is looking really scary for Uzikote. I mean, he's going for Hellions. He only had like, I think like 4 Marines or something like that. He even kind of screwed up or botched his factory barrack switchover. I mean, his factory was kind of floating in the air for a few seconds. And I'm like, oh man, if Mamba commits to this Roach push, that might be GG. I mean, Uzikote went for the fast ghost, but it was not gonna do too much damage against, you know, a bunch of roaches. At best, it would have gotten enough energy for like 1 snipe, so 1 roach snipe. And what he's going to do with the rest of the other roaches, he only has Marines and Hellions, which kind of tickles roaches. So unfortunately for Mamba, he did not commit to it, and it allowed Uzikote to defend and push back, and then later on just overwhelm Mamba there. But hey, it is a best of 3 series, so it's not over yet, quite yet. In fact, we do have a chance for our green Zerg to push us to the ace match. But before then, let's introduce our lovely players. It is spawning at the bottom right. We have our blue Terran player up 1-0, looking to close out the series. It is Uzikote. And spawning at the top left, we have our green Zerg down 0-1, looking to tie up the series. Can he do it? It is Mamba. Alright, so once again, Mamba spreading out his overlords. Now, I'll say on this map, I think the most common or more common proxies are probably right here and maybe right here somewhere. Rarely do I ever see it like around here or somewhere. So it looks like Mamba is trying to check out all the proxy areas, make sure no cheese is going on. And oh my god, Mamba, you crazy man. He is going for the roach, the quick roach push once again. But unfortunately for Mamba, this time around there is a CB scout. So, oh man, Uzikote is going to have plenty of time to set up the defense for this. Oh man, this is unfortunate for Mamba. Now again, he can go for just like a 3-4 roach and just like kind of scare Uzikote and not commit too much to it. But let's see how Uzikote defends against this. He once again skipped the Reaper, which will allow him to get the faster factory for maybe Cyclones or something, maybe even a Widowmine. But yeah, throwing down the bunker, just make sure he doesn't die to this roach. And again, this is not committed. This is only a couple of roaches, 4 roaches, morphing 2 of them into Ravagers. Oh no, it's actually 5. So he's actually committing more than even last game, despite getting scouted. But again, he's just gonna go ahead and just mass out drones behind us while he try to get some damage done. Unfortunately for Mamba here, he's gonna have limited vision. If Uzikote wanted, he can actually snipe that overlord with the Marines. But again, those Roach and Ravagers are making its way, and they will be crossing Bowling. Oh my god, he's actually gonna move right through. I'm pretty surprised. I thought he was just gonna keep up with the corrosive bow until he had none, but oh my god, he does at least take out the bunker. And oh my god, can he actually make use of this despite getting scouted? Now the Ravager did die, but there's only 2 roaches left, and he's gonna go ahead and try to snipe down focus fire as much as he can. And you know what? 5 roaches, and I mean morphing 2 of those into Ravagers for 8 SCVs. Not too shabby here. Not too shabby. Even also pulling those workers off of mineralized, the mineral line, so delayed some of the economy for some of those workers from mining. So Mamba here, despite getting scattered early on, does make use and gets a nice lead. 38 worker compared to the 28, so 10 worker lead for our Zerg friend, and he does have his dirt hatchery on its way. And at this point, Mamba, he can just drone up like a crazy man. Oh, hey, Lanfear. Yeah, he's looking like he's cheering for Uzi. So, of course, Lanfear, he is a Terran player himself. I'm going to go ahead and root for the Uzi Koti Terran player. Ah, he's your hero. Ah, nice. You know, it's always awesome to see like the camaraderie in the team, where you know, the kind of like the, I mean, usually, you know, you see the factions of like, you know, Protoss buddies or Zerg buddies or Terran buddies, but I feel like in our team there's been a nice diversity of like a group of people that, you know, likes to play with one another, likes to maybe coach or mentor some of the other players. It's always really great to see. But in the meantime, we do have Roach Speed finishing up for our Zerg friend, and he is going to go for a another push. But again, this is not. This is oh, this is actually pretty committed actually, because he's making a lot of roaches on the prediction tab. But he is droning behind this, so I mean, he knows he is in command. He has quite the big lead, 110 to 72 overall supply, and the fact he can just push in, I mean, his numbers are quite large. Now there is going to be a Liberator, but I think some corrosive bow will clean that up. And there we go. Oh, will he dodge it? Oh, just barely dodge it. Nice dodge. But man, 23 SCVs going down already, and I have to say that is quite the game-ending damage. I mean, especially since, you know, the Zerg is quite ahead in terms of the worker lead already. All right, he does at least finally clean up the roaches in the back, but some more group of roaches and Ravagers here at the front base, and he does finally holds. But boy, oh boy, did that sting. And I'm not sure what Uzi Koti could do. I mean, his dirt base got found out. All these Mews are gonna die. Poor Mews. I mean, he only has one tank out in the field. That is not scary. He's gonna go ahead and try to get some harassment done to try to crawl himself back to the game, which I like, because you gotta keep the fight on your opponent's side of the map instead of your side of the map. So he's gonna go ahead and try to siege up with this Liberator, try to get a medevac drop at the same time. But Mamba, he's on top of it. He's got the 3 queens, takes out with relative ease, and the roach is on top of this medevac. So Mamba, his defense is on point. He is he's on top of this, and there's not going to be much damage done by Uzikoti with this harass. So I mean, Mamba got significant damage on the Terran side and has not suffered any damage on his side, or at least not much damage on his side. So yeah, Mamba, I mean, at this stage, he's just gonna go for a counterattack, trying to see if he can finish this once and for all. Again, once again, these poor mules just keeps dying to these roaches. Now for the Terran player, I think his logic is, you know what, I'm gonna try to survive as long as possible, push it to the late game, the very late game, and see if I can turn this game around. But Mamba, I mean, Mamba, he has not the earliest of fourth bases, so that kind of give Uzikotsu some room to maybe try to crawl back. And you know what, as I look at it, he does have the +1/1 upgrade. Now, given that Mamba does have the +1/1 upgrade finishing soon himself, but I mean, he does have the upgrade lead, so maybe in the fight, in the big huge fight, if he does hit a timing where he does have like maybe a 2-2 lead compared to the 1-1 of the Zerg, he can probably maybe win that battle. And then if he can win enough battles, maybe crawl himself back into the game. But this is quite the large amount of roaches. The +1/1 of for Mamba has finished, so momentarily the upgrades are even. And oh my god, even snipes down the command center. There's a little bit of a mistake there by Uzikoti. He did not lift up the command center, and oh man, that hurts. I mean, he was quite behind in the economy already, but now he is really behind. And Mamba, he's gonna just gonna bulldoze his way through and just take out all the tanks, all the Marines. SCV's getting pulled, and I think this is GG. I think Mamba has tied up the series. GG, Uzikoti taps out, and Mamba has pushed this to a third and decisive game to see who will advance to the next round of this tournament. So well done there by Mamba. All right. All right, I wonder what Uzikoti will choose. Looks like World of Sleeper is his map of choice. So we're gonna have our third game here, the final game of this series on World of Sleepers. Now remember, Mamba the past two games has gone for the Roach Rush. We'll see if he does it once again. I mean, I think the first game it would have probably worked out in favor of Mamba just because Uzikotsu was in the dark. But funnily enough, in the second game where he got scouted out early on, and he actually made a really great use of those that push there, getting 8 SCVs in the early game. And at that point, Mamba was just in full control of the entire game. It was basically his game to lose. But we'll see if he goes for the same build. But before we get into that, let's introduce our awesome, great players here, putting on quite the series thus far. Here at the bottom left, we have our blue Terran player. He is Uzikoti. And spawning here at the top right, we have our green Zerg. He is Mamba. Oh my god, what are you doing, Madman? Is he going for a proxy hatchery here? Or is he trying to do a regular scout? I'm not sure. What is this sneaky drone going for? Oh my god, is he going to block the natural? I think he is. Yep, he is blocking the natural. So he is pulling out the cheese here. And Uzikoti does scout this here. And he's like, what? You're building a hatchery in front of me? No problem. I'm just gonna build it on the top in my main. Gonna go ahead and wall off so that there are no Zerglings coming through. Now remember the big patch that prevented the Zerg player from canceling their creep tumor. It actually does play a factor in these type of cheeses, because sometimes Zerg, the idea is to block the natural with the hatchery, make a queen, and then make a creep tumor to further deny and delay the natural. But if Uzikoti is on top of it and snipes down the creep tumor, I mean, Mamba can't cancel it. So I wonder if Mamba is going to go and go for the queen, or just let the hatchery just die and not make a queen. It looks like he's not going to make a queen. I'm going to go ahead and just let this hatchery delay this natural until it gets taken down. And it's hard to say whether this is better for our Zerg friend or our Terran friend, because I mean the natural gets delayed a bit, but not that much. But then at the same time, Mamba, he does lose 300 minerals and the drone. So nice pull back there by Uzikoti. He does not want those broodlings to get on top of the Marines and SCV. Now again, he does have to wait a little bit for the creep to reside. But you know what? All in all, it hasn't really delayed Uzikoti by that much. So, I mean, he did force a bunker. Although he probably would have gone for the bunker maybe without the hatchery block. But yeah, I would say, you know what? Very slight win there by Uzikoti. Did not really get denied or delayed by too much. Ooh, even getting these opening lings here. So nice pick off there. But the ling speed has finished, and Mamba is making quite the large amount of lings, even throwing down the Baneling nest. Now I wonder if this is going to be for defensive Banelings, or if this is going to be a kind of a Baneling all-in attack. But Uzikoti gotta be careful, because there are quite a large amount of forces for our Zerg. So if he gets surrounded by these lings, I mean, that's a lot of units that's gonna be dead. And Uzikoti has gone for the ghost. So nice snipe there. Gets 2 queens. Nice start already in this attack. And what is Mamba going for? He is trying to morph in Banelings, but they're actually quite late. Oh no, all his lings are across the map. And oh man, just barely goes through all these SCVs. Let's see how many how much damage both these players gets. It looks like with the Banelings he will be able to clean this. But oh man, he has the Terran has no answer for these lings. Remember, he went for the ghost once again, the fast ghost. So he's trying to make a ghost, but it's not really gonna help. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna snipe down one ling? I mean, that's not gonna do it to clean up this. He's trying to desperately make some Hellions. Smartly, he actually transferred all his SCV to the natural while he's making Hellions at the main to clean up these lings. But there are more lings at the outside base. And oh no, he has not finished completing his wall, and these lings, more lings are gonna come through. And oh my god, where are the Hellions? Oh my god, has all the Hellions? Okay, there's one Hellion left in the natural. Oh, there's one more actually. So there's 2 Hellions, and I think he should be able to possibly push it through, but he needs to wall off. He needs to wall off. Put those supply depot up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that was pretty scary for our Terran for a bit, but he is quite down actually in the overall supply. But remember, he's stuck on Ling Baneling tech. So if Uzikoti can hold on, maybe he can make work of maybe some ghost dropping and kind of crawl himself back to the game. But the Zerg has denied the Terran from mining his natural, and whew, quite the intense few minutes there. But I would have to say Mamba has taken full control of this game. That Lin counterattack was the correct call. And now Uzukoti is gonna have to start establishing his natural once again. I remember all the supply depot at the natural has gone down. Oh my god, these Lings getting some more SCVs, getting some more meals. And he's making these Lings very, very cost efficient there. He's basically trading out mineral units for things like mules and ghosts, and I mean, this is quite sad here. Now remember, Uzukoti has not scouted the Roach Warren of Mamba. Oh no, actually, I think, wait, did he? He went into the natural. Let's see here, just double confirm. Nope, the Roach Warren has thrown down after the big attack, so he does not actually have expecting roaches, and now he finally sees some roaches, and that he's like, oh no, I gotta go back home. He can't really do anything to these roaches. Maybe a few snipe here and there, but the Hellwings are gonna not do too much against these roaches. So I don't expect Mamba to take much damage from this. And you know what? Mamba is even throwing down a Spire to maybe go for some Muta switch. And it's important to note that Uzukoti, he did go for the tech lab on the barracks, so there's not a lot of Marines to defend against the Mutalisk. And he did go for the factory reactor, the reactor on the factory, so there's not going to be any like Cyclones or Thors coming out to help defend against the Mutalisk. So, but you know what? Nice harass here by these Hellions. Get some nice 9 drone kills. Should at least help him at least crawl back, but he's still significantly down in the worker count. I mean, the income graph just tells it all. Just all green here for Mamba. And look at there, the Mutalisk switch has begun. I don't think there's even an engineering bay. Yeah, there's no engineering bay. I think once the Mutalisk comes over, I mean, the only anti-air will be the Ghost. Funnily enough, funnily enough for Mamba, he's not committing too much to these Mutalisks. He's actually making only a few Mutalisks, just to deny the medevacs. Okay, I think Uzukoti just barely saw the Mutalisk once his medevac was sniped down. And he's quickly making an engineering bay. I don't think the turrets will be up before then, so he might actually have to send over a few ghosts. Yeah, he's parking his ghosts between the natural and the main because he's not sure where the Mutalisk are coming from. Oh my god, look at those snipes. I imagine this is how a hunter feels like in the dead of winter. He's sniping out like birds in the air or something. Alright, but remember guys, Mamba has not committed to these Mutalisks. He's putting all his resources into these roaches, these ravagers, as well as some Lings to buffer. And this is quite the big force here. This is a significant force. More than double the army supply of the Terran. So these tanks will have to go Super Saiyan mode to defend against this, because this is Lings, Bangling, Ravagers, and Roaches. There's even an Overseer to join this force so that he can cross about these tanks at the high ground. And Baneling's speed just finished. And oh boy, this is oh, actually he does retreat. I feel like he has enough to break this, but wants to play it safe. Oh no, does he get the wraparound? He does get the wraparound. all the ghosts and Hellions get obliterated. There are only 3 tanks, 4 tanks, and the Liberator left over. And oh boy, this is looking worse and worse for our Terran. And I'm not sure if he can hold this anymore. The good thing is that he does have a Liberator and some few tanks, so there's not a lot of things he can do. He's got to either close about one tank or the Liberator. He does decide to close about the tank, but the Liberator still stands. But there are still some Ravagers left over for Mamba. And as long as he can just keep denying this third base from Uzukote, that's all he needs. He can trade. I mean, he does have the economy to back this up and to replenish his army. So, I mean, look at the bank. He has a 1.5k bank on the minerals and gas, while Uzukote is starving. I mean, he is quite starving. He's throwing down a bunch of meals just to try to get some economy rolling, but this is quite sad of an army for our Terran. I mean, not too scary, and this natural is actually pretty open if Mamba decides to go for it. So I know Landfair was rooting for Uzukote, but it is looking quite dire, unfortunately. I mean, Mamba, he is just going back once again to mealless. He's actually going for a bunch of mealless, knowing that he has killed a lot of ghosts, and that Mamba has not gone for any Marines. He's going back to the Ling mealless Baneling composition. He does have the tech for it. You know, that's one of the scary things about Zerg, that they can kind of tech switch quite easily if they want to, especially if they have a significant lead in the early game. And Mamba, he's just macroing. He's throwing down more bases, spreading those creep tumors, getting his creep across the map. It's halfway across the map so far. Getting his upgrades, his air upgrades. Got even 2 Spire to push those upgrades. And even getting Burrow upgrade as well, so he can deny future bases or even get some Baneling Burrow. And the Muleless, I think just enough Muleless to just overwhelm the Terran. There's just really not much against these Muleless. The Ghost can snipe, but there's just not enough Ghost, not enough energy to snipe out every single Muleless. There's no Thors. There's no turret at the third base. And this is pretty much a walkover here, as the main base gets cleaned up by Mamba. And yeah, GG. Mamba will take it 2-1 and advance to the next round of the tournament. And unfortunately for Uzukote, he is knocked out to the losers bracket. So you can catch him in the losers bracket. He's not quite out yet. He can still make it through. And I think, yeah, well done by Mamba. I'm done for the first hour here. First hour and a half or so. Xenodactyl will take over the B stream, so don't go away. Don't tune out. I appreciate you guys tuning in, but yeah, stay tuned for Xenodactyl to come on, and hopefully there will be plenty of more games, plenty of more great games for Xeno to cast. But until then, this is your friendly neighborhood puppy dog signing out.